We spent the past couple of years in a crazy hot market. Louisville home sales decline as demand outpaces supply. Effective communication is at the core of any situation. If you master these two ideas, you'll have a chance of being successful at residential real estate marketing. I think you need to be looking for investment opportunities that move the needle. The market will never crash if demand exceeds supply. This is what I've been telling you all along.
This is the Jay Pitts Show. And we're back, folks. Welcome back to the Jay Pitts Show here on Talk Radio 1080. I am your host, Jay Pitts, here with my co-host, Mr. Ryan Harris. Ryan, how's it going, sir?
I'm doing great. Do you think you could do that intro
in
now?
My sleep?
Like, I think I could sing it like a song if you took the words out and you just put the beat over. I might be able to know all the words.
Okay.
By now.
I think I would agree with that.
I'd probably mess up. We should video that and put it on social media.
I'm waiting for Hannah to chop it up and make it look like, you know, something really cool and fresh and like, or silly on my part.
You know, she can do it. All right. Feels like football outside, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And we'd be remiss if we didn't introduce our guest. Mr. Ryan Brown is here with Beachmont Equities. Ryan, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Yo, throwing the piece out there. I like it. Yeah, so we're back. We're going to talk some real estate. Yeah. What you got in store for us today?
Well, I figure we'd start out, I said it feels like football outside. Weather feels amazing. You got a little breeze. Feels like fall. Chili's right around the corner, and Louisville football plays this weekend.
Chili? Oh, my Lord. It was like 106 like heat index last week.
Yeah.
Now
it's beautiful.
My wife eats chili year round, and it disgusts me.
Oh, man. I can't do it. Like that first really cold day, like Oktoberfest beer,
football on a Sunday afternoon, and then chili, cheese,
money.
And crackers. Like, God.
Yeah, it's money.
Well,
money.
Here's a good argument we can get into early. Noodles or no noodles in chili?
I don't do it every time. It's a treat. I do like it. I grew up chili with noodles, but I don't usually make it that way.
Ryan Brown?
I used to be 100% against it because I hate spaghetti. It's too long. It doesn't make any sense.
You just break it.
Well, no, here's the thing. My kids love noodles with just like butter. I guess kids eat that. I don't know.
They do.
It's whatever.
It's kind of gross to me, but yeah.
But Kroger sells these Fideo. It's basically spaghetti noodles, but they're only like an inch long. Mm-hmm. And so I can deal with that in the chili.
I'm impressed with that pronunciation. That was great.
We don't know if it was right.
I think it was right.
I'm cultured.
I'm giving it up for him on that one. Yeah, no, buttered noodles it's gross. Like places that don't have a kids menu will always give you buttered noodles, and the kids are like, yes, and I'm like, no.
Awesome.
It's also like the exact worst combination of foods, like fats and carbs.
It's
like
the most
you can do
unhealthy
fats
thing.
And protein or carbs and protein.
You can't do fat and carbs.
Kids love it though.
They absolutely do. Ugh. I don't know. You got me off topic with that. No, I agree. Like fall's cool, but like I'm coaching football right now, and the beginning of the season is always just scorching hot, and the ground's hard, and it doesn't rain. Of course, this year we've had a lot more rain, which is awesome. But yeah, it's 100-degree heat index last week. Like we're having to pull the kids off the field and stand in the shade for like 30 minutes at a time during practice and doing like whiteboard sessions because the heat index was too high to practice.
They made me cancel. They were like, the kids are only 6, Ryan. And I was like, you're going to say that when they're 10? You're going to say it when they're 12?
Yes. The answer is yes.
We need to be out here working.
The answer is yes. This is not the 80s anymore. This is not the 90s anymore. We don't get to do that.
I was so angry about it Friday afternoon. I did a 5-mile run only because the heat index was 112. And I haven't run in months.
Right,
my
David
knee
Goggins.
hurts. I did it, and I posted it so that all the parents on the football team would see, like, oh, Ryan did a 5-mile run. It's 112, and he didn't die.
The best part of this whole football discussion is, are you guys watching Hard Knocks at all?
I'm a couple episodes behind.
Okay, so Hard Knocks, I'm just going to, local interest somewhat. Randall Cobb, former UK player, very, very close with Aaron Rodgers, and obviously it's the Jets. And in their final preseason game, he throws a haymaker of a crackback block, like old school, 1990s style, early 2000s style crackback. And he gets flagged, and they talk about it, because they're all mic'd up. He talks about how he's probably going to get a fine in the mail. Literally, his wife is in the stands commenting, saying, "Oh, yeah, that's a fine." And he goes back to the huddle, and Aaron Rodgers is like ripping him like, come on, bro, this isn't 2004.
And
Like
it's preseason.
This is not. Yeah, well, they said, no joke, the starting QB for the other team, for the Giants, was in 5th grade the last time that Aaron Rodgers played in a preseason game. Wow. So, I mean, it's, but Randall Cobb, hey, to me, it threw me back because, like, I used to headhunt like that. And it not up top, but, like, in the chest, of course. But crackbacks were my thing.
All right, I'm going to bring us back on topic here. Louisville football. 2 questions for everyone here. We all are Louisville fans.
Yes.
First question, does Louisville win this weekend? Georgia Tech, we're a 7.5-point favorite.
I'm going to go yes. And not only that, I think we cover.
I think so, too.
I think we cover.
No argument for me.
I'm cautiously optimistic. It's year one. I'm excited about the future of Louisville football. I don't know what we're going to look like. I don't follow close enough to know all these transfers and people and the portal, and so I am optimistic, and I think that we have a bright future. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I have friends that are very into it, and I get the byproduct of being in group texts with friends who are very into the portal.
Did you see this guy? Oh, we're good.
Like I get screenshots of all the recruiting sites and everything because I know our NIL ranks and all the stuff that like supposedly matters these days, and I just think there's buzz around the program. And anytime, so we're ranked ahead of Colorado we're the number 1 portal school in the last year, ahead of Colorado, and Deion Sanders is pulling people from from SEC schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's got to be some fire to that smoke, in my mind.
Louisville's plus 5,000 to make the college football playoffs.
Wow.
And it's because we have the easiest FBS schedule in the country.
Well, of course. And that's another thing that I have. I honestly think, and I'm watching the Swamp. What is it? Swamp Kings. I started watching that too. Like I'm getting all the way in. I literally watched last night. I watched an episode of Hard Knocks and Swamp Kings. Yeah, I'm getting in football shape mentally. I think that is a big thing because if there's anything that series will teach you, Florida Gators were the most talented team in the nation 3 years in a row. They won 1 national title, which is phenomenal. They should have probably won 3.
I heard it's not very good.
I thought it was okay.
I heard they didn't talk about any of the 47 people arrested on that team.
There's a few moments. It is definitely undershadowed. That's for sure.
Okay, second question. What's a good season for Louisville football in your mind?
I think 8 wins for me is a success. 7 might be a slight disappointment, but not bad. 9 is a home run.
I'm going 10.
You're going 10 for success?
No, for great season.
Okay, so your 10 is my 9.
Success is only great.
So your 10 is my 9. Is that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Ryan?
I'm probably more with Jay. I think, like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I also, like you said, we have a schedule that should allow us to win games.
Yeah.
And for me, Louisville football is just everything about the city is better when we're winning. The games are more fun to go to. I take the boys to the games. It's more fun when we win. I had them at Wake Forest last year and stormed the field. I got to teach my kids, so we were in the front row of that game.
I was there too.
We were in the front row of that game, and people are starting to storm the field. First of all, I was going to the game like, I hope we don't get killed because I'm taking the boys. I want it to be fun. And then all of a sudden, like, we're crushing them. And then it was like insane. Well, people were jumping on the field, and let's see, it was last year. So the boys are 6 and 4, standing beside me, and they're like, "Dad, we want to go. I was like, "All right, we will." But watch, we're going to let people get tackled by security first. And then when security is busy, that's when I'm going to jump over, and then you're going to jump down to me. And we did it. We executed it perfectly. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but on the middle of the field, some students started chanting F, I'm not allowed to say it, UK, right in the middle of the field. Right, which didn't turn out well for us in a couple weeks later. But they start chanting it. Well, I look over, and like it's a great time, and I've got Bo with me, and I look over, and JJ, age 6 at the time, is joined in the chant with the college kids. And I look over at him, and I don't even say anything. I look at him, and he looked at me like, And I was like, no.
Did you at least get it on video?
I did not, but it was
Mom would have appreciated
it was a
the video.
classic moment that I'm going to get to enjoy for the rest of my life. And it's probably it's like
Was Lindsay there?
No, it was just me and the boys at the game. So
That's
it was,
amazing.
Yeah,
That
it
was
great.
probably one of the most unexpected wild Louisville sporting events, I'd say, like of the last decade.
Well, and that's the thing. It's
Probably-
been about a decade since we've had anything consistent to be excited about. Like I just keep saying, like my stock phrase is, "We can't have nice things." Like because like I got really excited about TBT, and then completely just they gassed out in the last 5 minutes of that last game, and it's like, man, I was so nostalgic of this thing. We just can't have nice things.
I had already bought tickets to the Monday night game.
Yeah, I know.
Just
man.
that went to waste.
I was literally on my phone in the second half.
Did you ever
about to
sell
buy the
them
tickets.
to anybody? After?
No, I offered them up, and nobody was really that.
Nobody take
interested
them for
in going.
free.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch the team that beat us play in
it
the region
was-
final.
It wasn't good.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna cut to a couple ad sponsors. We'll be back on the Jay Pitts Show, Talk Radio 1080, real news, real talk. See you in a sec. Welcome back to the Jay Pitts Show. I'm your co-host Ryan Harris. Talk Radio 1080, real news, real talk. We obviously have Jay Pitts here, and we have our guest Ryan Brown on. So for this segment, guys, I want to talk about Tim Chisano. I've talked about him on here before, Jay. Do you recall it all?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, obviously it's not, not my, follow, but through you, yes, I remember vaguely.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of people nowadays, entrepreneurs, just in anybody just in corporate America, find a lot of their people they like to follow or inspirations, on social media. I think it's becoming easier to tell who the authentic people are and who's kind of, you can tell the people that aren't authentic. Like, I think it's becoming easier, and that's what people really enjoy now. So Tim Chisano, it's this guy on TikTok who kind of has a cult-like following now. He has over 1 million followers. He's a creative exec for a Fortune 100 company. I believe he works for Spectrum. And yeah, he's been doing that for a long time and is very high up there, VP. And he does these TikToks of day in the lives. So, and I think why people are drawn to him, his TikToks are vlog styles with voiceover. He wakes up at 4 a.m, 3:30 in the morning every single day. He'll rip a pre-workout. He'll start working on a couch. He'll go for 5, 6, 7 mile run. And then he goes and works till 6, 7. And he has a wife and a daughter. And it seems like he handles everything very well. So he has these career tips he put out for people. We don't have to talk about all of them because there are a lot. I want to go over the confidence section, though, of his career tips and just get your thoughts on them, Ryan and Jay. Let's just go over this one first. So your weirdest ideas might be your best ones, he says. Document them and welcome others to poke holes until you either, one, conclude the idea absolutely will not work, which is totally okay, or two, fill all the holes and the idea has come to life.
So your weirdest ideas are your best ideas.
Sometimes.
I can buy that. Yeah, and I think he's fine with rejecting ideas. I think it's a state of mind, probably, where you're encouraging yourself, subconscious or conscious mind, whatever, what have you. You're encouraging yourself to stretch, right? And if you're, around people that you trust their opinions, you trust their willingness to give you honest feedback, you can share kind of a crazy idea and they can tell you, man, that's really stupid. And you can't get your feelings hurt, right? Because it was just a crazy idea, like not entirely, parallel, but like Hannah and I were talking today about like video ideas, right? She's got some great ideas, and literally like halfway through, like a lightning bolt, I got this idea that I should be reacting to my old videos. Like, how we do a lot of reaction, like video reactions or what have you. And some of my old videos I find to be very cringy. And so I should just be the one to tell everyone that why my old videos are cringy. And I thought, is this a stupid idea? But actually, Hannah thought it was a great idea. And so that's an example where she could have told me I was stupid, but she didn't. And so, like I said, if you trust yourself and you trust the people around you, I think, yeah, you stretch.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like it's not really about ideas as much as it's about what actions you take. Because it doesn't matter what you think. Like, if Jay has this idea for these videos in his head, it doesn't matter if it's a good idea or it's a crazy idea. And he will never actually know if he doesn't have the courage to just jump out and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And if it's terrible, then he can say, well, that was a bad
idea.
Yeah. But even, and this is something that in the Marine Corps, I think that I always try to analyze everything after we do an after action report immediately. You know, so you go do something and you sit down right after it happened and you think like, what went well, what did not go well? You know, what did people respond to about this video that I did, or what did they not like about it? And so what have I learned now for the next time? So at that point, nothing is an absolute failure.
Yeah.
You know, because, well, I mean, Jay knows I tried to get this RV park built at the beginning of the year, and we ended up not getting it done. But I would say that it's not a complete failure because it kind of led me. I learned a lot. You know, I learned a lot of things that eventually will make me a lot of money too. And so, well, it is what it is.
And to your point about action, sometimes, I mean, like there's always, regardless of how well intentioned your surroundings, the people surrounding you are, if you're the lightning rod, right, you're the one that is required to act. Sometimes you just have to like not listen to anybody and trust your gut. Sometimes.
And fail. And it's fine.
And you can fail in those moments. And it's not the end of the world. I've often said that, like, people that have wild success, I don't ever find, and this is going to sound really, really egotistical. I apologize for that. I never meet somebody who I think is more successful than me. Rarely, I should say, do I meet somebody who I find to be more successful than me that I feel like is smarter than me. Right? I meet them and I'm not overwhelmed by their intelligence as I might expect to be naturally. Like, hey, this person is wildly successful. We got a net worth of $100 million. They're a billionaire. They're whatever, right? And I expect to be overwhelmed by their intelligence, and I'm never overwhelmed.
So that's a really good lead into this next one I want to talk about, and that's because, you know, the wildly successful people that I meet that I'm amazed by or wowed by are the ones that seem to care more about you and who you are than anything about themselves.
Yeah.
Like they listen well and they're looking at you and they really care about you and not anything they've done.
That is an amazing point, because what they've learned to channel is the fact that failure is not the end. A failure is just a moment in time. They pick themselves back up, and how they get through that, Ryan, is they invest in other people. They understand there's only so much of themselves to go around. You can't drink your own Kool-Aid that much, right? Like, there's no possible way. I've literally tested the limits of how many homes a single agent can sell in a year's time, yeah. Right? And there's just no way that I could make that much money, okay, that it would make me more than what I make when I have 100 real estate agents working for me. It doesn't matter how good those 100 agents are. I cannot be better than the sum of 100. Yeah. There's no way. So when I care about you more than I care about me, and even if I fail, I'm not overwhelmed by that either. I just pick myself up and move on. Like, it comes to guts a lot of times, like willingness to fail, right? Ability to pick yourself up after failure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I want to go over this one from him. So he says, if you want to be happier in the workplace, try this perspective. Be forever interested in what makes everyone else who they are and why they think the way they think, because those answers will help you make you a more well-rounded in a multitude of ways.
That's pretty wise.
This is one I'm working on.
Speaks to EQ. I'm not big on like buzzwords, but like EQ is a good one.
I think that kind of goes along with basically what you train the agents on all the time, and it's finding people's pain points and what are the motivate, like what's going on that has you calling me to sell your house, or you know what's going on in your life. I need to know this stuff because and it works the same way with where we were at in the last segment talking about how do I structure a creative deal. Well, I need to know what matters to you for me to be able to make this a good deal for you. And if I want to get a good deal for myself, well, I need to be able to make it good for you, and I have to know what you're looking for Because if I don't, well, I might pitch like you get this big balloon in 10 years, but you don't even want it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and your genuine curiosity reads through, right? Because it takes some trust, right? For people to tell you what they want to achieve, they have to trust you. They have to trust that you don't have ulterior motives. So your genuine curiosity, as he talks about here, forever be interested in other people versus yourself, right? If you are that and it reads, authentic has a way of showing itself. Yeah. What else is on the list, man? Are those your favorites?
I'm just picking different ones out. I thought this was an interesting one. Purpose and happiness. Find purpose in your work by trying this easy exercise. Write a sentence or two that describes what you do in the most positive way possible, making it about how you help others. This could be a place of focus for the purpose in your current role. Example, someone who works at McDonald's taking orders could say, I make sure people have a good experience while they are getting an affordable meal that they enjoy.
We'd have to talk about the affordability of McDonald's these days.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 episodes we talked about how McDonald's was the place like, I want a cheat meal or I don't have a lot of money. I'm going to go eat there. And now I have money to blow. I'm going to go eat at McDonald's and spend
it's $40. Yeah, it's a very different experience these days. No, I'm with that. That's cool. Those exercises, they have a hard time holding my attention span for a long period of time, like the gratitude journal on a daily basis. Like I tried that.
I'm not on the affirmations.
I'm not. I used to try that with my kids. I felt like it was impactful for a while for them to vocalize the things that they wanted in life or the things that they wanted to be. And I don't know, man. It runs its course. It gets tired.
So a lot of these are for people early on in their entrepreneurial journey or corporate America journey. So makes sense that it wouldn't apply too much to.
But those people need that in those moments. They're at an age where they can, challenge themselves emotionally. Right, not like children, and they're also not at a place where they're stable emotionally. They're embarking on a really tough journey. Probably the first time they've ever done something like this, or this hard, or this full of rejection in their lives, and like they might need that. And I don't know. I mean, like I see you shaking your head, Ryan. Like, dude, that's not me either. Right?
That's my least favorite one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you build the confidence after you do it. Like if you're at a low point where you think you need to write something down, you need to spend less time writing it down
and more time doing
and pushing through. And then when you look back at it, you won't need to have written it down because you will remember that you went on through that.
Yeah.
And
all gas, no brakes. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about all the time we got for this segment, guys. We're going to come back here in a minute. I think Ryan's got us a little bit of Apple news that we need to talk about. Mind-blowing type stats, I think, that we're going to hear after the break. But we're going to cut to a couple of sponsors. We'll be back here in a moment on the J Pitt Show here on Talk Radio 1080.
Welcome back to the J Pitt Show. This is Talk Radio 1080, real news, real talk. I'm your co-host, Ryan Harris. I don't know why I still do this, but I look over at the screen that says Talk Radio 1080 every time I say it.
I do it too.
Even though I've said it 200 times.
Yeah, Ryan probably thought I was staring a hole in his head earlier when I was bringing this in and the very thing, because the Talk Radio 1080 logo is behind his head.
Yeah. So,
but you get in that like autopilot mode, but you don't want to flub. So like when I hit that, I'm like, okay, I got this.
A lot of people that listen to this show are like say they listen to it. I don't know if they actually do or if they just listen to the clips on social media. The biggest compliment I get from people is that we actually pronounce words right and don't really stumble up too much.
Well, that's good.
I'm like, well, at least I do it on the radio show because I sure don't do it in real life.
Your guys' radio voices are so good. Like Jay's intro, whenever you sat down and you did that, I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
Oh, when I bring in the show?
Yeah, like the very beginning when we first sat down here, I was like, what in the...
Who is this guy?
It was impressive.
Well, I've kind of been... Well, I appreciate that.
I think that's how he's going to start meetings at the brokerage now in that voice.
This
is Roundtable.
All
right. Let's talk AirPods. So
yeah.
Apple, we talk about Apple a decent amount on this show.
Market dominance.
And it makes sense we do. It's one of the, biggest companies in the world, most influential companies in the world. Everybody has an iPhone in America, even if it's not the world. But, this always comes out every year, AirPods revenue and how it stacks up to other massive companies in the world. So AirPods revenue, they did in 2022, 14.5 billion in revenue just for AirPods. And that's with the B, billion. So that is more than Intuit at 12.7 billion. Intuit, massive company, right? Spotify changed the music industry, flipped it on its head. Spotify did 12.3 billion. So the AirPods in 2022 did over 2 billion more in revenue in 1 year. And I don't even think they came out with a new AirPod in 2022.
No, it was just the Pros, just probably Gen 3 of the AirPod Pros, which is like minor fixes, minor upgrades. There was no launch.
Yeah. So it also did more than eBay at 9.8 billion, more than Airbnb at 8.4 billion, more than DoorDash at 6.6 billion, more than Shopify at 5.6 billion, and more than Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at 4.4 billion. It's just mind-numbing to think about.
I mean, it's almost as much as Adobe. Like, ridiculous. I don't like. I wish there was accurate market dominance like stats that you could have on this. Like, what share of the wireless earbuds market do they have?
Yeah, I mean,
like it create
next closest competitor is probably Bose.
Didn't I cite that as a small purchase that changes your life? And I kind of literally was like upset with myself because that seemed like very.
Oh yes, yeah.
It seemed
What's
very
something you can buy for under
superfluous.
$200 that changes your life.
And it was like superfluous, but like think about it. I don't know if you have AirPods. I literally this moment I have it changed my life in that it changed the things that I carry in my pocket every day. That is in my pocket everywhere I go.
Here's a good. Do you carry that with your keys and wallet or in the same pocket as your phone?
The phone goes in the back pocket usually. The keys are in one pocket and my wallet is in the same pocket as this. Okay. Usually. If I carry my wallet, I don't always carry a wallet.
It's an interesting move with the phone in the back pocket.
I go phone back pocket.
Ryan.
But usually the phone
I've been a phone back pocket guy.
Really?
The phone is in my hand more than it's in my pocket. But like AirPods, look, everywhere I go.
Must be an older millennial thing.
What, you don't take these with you?
Phone in the back pocket.
I do with
Oh my
jeans, but
gosh.
I try not to wear jeans anymore. You know, I've been on a thing where I just wear shorts, basketball shorts and stuff.
That's a major football guy move.
Basketball shorts
only, even when it's freezing.
Basketball shorts, no. Like I've worn shorts a lot this summer, but they're more like, khaki shorts. Like
well, you're a
dress shorts.
professional.
Flip flops and the whole thing. Ryan got me to stop wearing socks. I don't wear socks unless I'm going to the gym or playing golf or something.
Yeah, you said you played golf yesterday. How'd that go?
I did. Played well.
I think that's good. We're going to document your golf journey on this show
I'm not
publicly.
Good. Okay, publicly. So I literally, we can talk about that. I literally, I hit that phase, which you probably don't know because you've been like a scratch since you were like 2. But like I was the guy that was an athlete that didn't have a swing, that's never had a lesson, that was just kind of an athlete that went out and could hit some really good shots sometimes, but like when he hits bad shots, has no clue why. And get really frustrated. And so it got to that point where like the more I played, the more serious I tried to be and the worse I got because I was just angry all the time. And lately I've made some breakthroughs. So I like went from probably like shooting 100 to like not finishing a round. I'm so angry to like I shot 95 yesterday. And I had a double on 18. A 3-putt double on 18 that could have got me like a 93, and I probably still I still probably left like 5 shots out there because like I struck the ball well enough to probably shoot 90 is my guess. And so that's good. And that's all happened very fast, like in a matter of
like Lake Forest, right?
Like in weeks. No, we played at what's Hikes Point?
Don't know. All right, so good. Good job. Makes it more fun.
It's an easy course. It's where Hoagland and Radcliffe are members.
Oh, Oxmoor?
Oxmoor. It's easy. Yeah. It's an easy course.
Yeah, call it a handicap killer there.
Yeah, that's what it is. So anyway.
I've been practicing for the scramble.
Yep. We got a scramble coming up.
We keep our me and Johnny keep our clubs at the shop. so that we can just dip out and go play 9 over at Iroquois.
Yeah.
But we don't have to go home and get the clubs, so nobody sees.
Nobody
and
knows.
then we played 9 holes, like hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We played last week on Thursday. It was 100 degrees, 110, whatever it was. Nobody out there. We were hitting 4 balls on every hole, each one of them just bang. And I'll tell you what, everybody better watch out because I've been driving the ball.
Yeah. Well, while we're at it, we might as well plug the Golf Scramble. We do have an accurate date, October 23rd at Hurstbourne Country Club. If you're interested in supporting Children's Miracle Network, you can come support in a number of ways. You can play, you can sponsor, you can volunteer, donate silent auction items. Last year, we raised over $25,000 for Children's Miracle Network, which is a national partner of Remax. It's been a local partner of ours. All the proceeds of this scramble get attributed to the local Children's Miracle Network hospitals, which is Norton's here locally, Norton Children's. And it's got like a really low admin rate. It's like one of those really good charities. It's not like one of those that has like 60%, 70% of the funds that you raise going to administrative costs. It's like really high. I don't know the number, so I'm not going to quote it, but you can Google it and CMN comes up really, really, really high on that list. So October 23rd, very nice course over at Hurstbourne Country Club if you want to play.
Yeah, whether you want to put a team in or sponsor, if you want to get in front of real estate agents for your business, you can sponsor, get a booth at a hole. If you want to play, there's one thing I can tell you about real estate agents aside from selling homes. They are really good at having fun, even if it's 10 a.m. on a Monday morning and it's a work event.
Technically, the shotgun start is at 12:30. So it is afternoon. So some of the sponsors
people
may
were on beer at noon, before noon, well before noon.
Some of the sponsors, not going to name any names, Mr. Ryan Brown, but we're encouraging the consumption of alcoholic beverages last year. But hey, we have fun. That's what realtors do.
It's a charity event. You got to loosen the wallets.
You do. All right, so let's go back to AirPods real quick. So the market cap of Twitter, or the sale, what have you, at $4.4 billion in revenue, I think I just saw.
That is more than triple in revenue than Twitter. X.
So
I hate
so
that.
X
when Twitter sold, it had higher revenue. It went down last year, right? Ryan Harris, I'm sure this is something I felt like you would just know.
He did fire some of the advertisers.
I saw Twitter's revenue after the purchase. Twitter's revenue actually went down, and so that would be a lower year for Twitter.
Yeah, this is also true.
X, whatever.
So I don't know what their PE ratio was before, but it's just incredible to think about what the AirPods Corporation would sell for when Twitter sold for 40 some odd billion. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, like if you just go like a multiple of revenue, I mean it's like $120 billion company.
Well, here's a great thing about the AirPods too. You're doing well if you make them last a year. If you don't lose them, break them, wash them, you're going to be buying one every year. That's about my average, and I'm pretty proud of that.
I mean, I think I told you, like I literally had the thought when you asked this question a couple of weeks ago that like it's that impactful that if I lost it today, I would literally and I have some privilege here. Okay, don't get me wrong. I would instantly order another pair. Instantly.
I buy the old ones too. I don't like the new versions. They fall out of my ear.
You don't like the pros?
Yeah, I don't
the
like the
pros. I didn't like the old ones. It's the exact opposite for me. The pros are where it's at. The little spongy thing, apparently.
Now, if I lose mine, I give myself about 3 days to find them, and those 3 days suck. But last time that happened and I bought new ones, I found the old ones like 20 minutes after. So I have 2 pairs of AirPods now, one for working out, one for work. So
well, that's fun.
That's bougie.
Bougie. That's okay. We can be bougie around here. All right, folks, that's all the time we got in this segment. We will be back after a couple of sponsors here on the Talk Radio 1080, the Jay Pitts Show. Catch you in just a minute.
Welcome back to the Jay Pitts Show. This is Talk Radio 1080, real news, real talk.
Always
I'm your
looking at the
co-host Ryan Harris. It's a good thing I can read, at least partially. I got that going for me. So.
That's all right.
All right, Jay. We talked about this new segment we're doing. We want to tie social media more into this show. So if you're not following us on social media yet, you're going to want to if you want to participate in this or follow how we're doing. But we are going to be choosing couple NFL bets each week. Sports betting's going live in Kentucky here pretty soon. So every week, Jay is going to choose, or Jay and I both are going to choose an over-under game. We have to choose either over or under, and then a team to cover. So we can go ahead and start out with that. Now, what's funny is I had to send Jay screenshots of FanDuel. So those are the lines we're using.
I think this literally means that I'm going to have to get into sports betting.
Yeah,
and if this becomes a problem, my wife will be calling you.
No.
Just so you know, because
let me send you a referral link first.
It's got like Phil Mickelson.
No, that will not happen.
Jay Mickelson.
That was crazy.
I saw a great quote where somebody was trying to roast him on Twitter, and he said, "Can you think of anything that I could do with 800 million that I can't do with 760 million?"
Honestly, it's impressive. He's bet $1 billion and only lost 100 million.
I think it's
pretty good.
I think he had the guts. I think it's impressive that he had the guts to really kind of acknowledge it. Like Jordan lost more than that. I could almost guarantee. I mean, unless you want to adjust for inflation, but Jordan lost some money, and by all accounts. So I don't know.
There's some great Jordan gambling stories.
Jordan won't acknowledge it though.
What are some? Can you think of any off the top of your head?
My favorite story is him and Jeremy Roenick playing golf, and they played 18 holes and apparently drank like 6 beers, and he had a game that night. So 18 holes and drank 6 beers, and lost, and said, "Well, let's play another 18." And then Roenick was the one telling the story, and he's like, "Well, don't you have a game tonight?" He's like, "Come on, let's go." They go drink another 6 or 8 beers on the golf course out there, and he's had like, "You've had like 12 beers. Don't you have a game tonight?" And Jordan's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get 50 or whatever." And so Roenick goes out and first, I think, makes a bet with Jordan, but then puts money that the Bulls are going to lose, and Jordan actually does go out
and get 50.
And win, scores 40, 50 points. Like, no big deal.
That's awesome.
I'm going to have to look that one up. This may be a new segment, Jordan gambling stories. Yeah. All right, so Ryan, picks?
Yeah, let's hear your over-under game first.
All right, so over-under, I am going to take...
And this is for week 1 of the NFL. These games will probably have already happened when this comes out, but that's okay.
I'm going to take the over on the Bills-Jets at 46.5. I know that's a high over, but I think it's going to be a shootout, right? And I introduced this term. Ryan said he'd never heard this with respect to betting, but a little bit of clout chasing, I'm going to say, with the Bills-Jets. I mean, you've got a fairly prolific offense in Buffalo, right? And you've got some really young, as I've mentioned in episodes I've been watching, Hard Knocks. You got some young, explosive, exciting offense with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers seems, I know that's how they're going to make him look, seems to be in form, in good form. So I'm going to take the over on the 46.5.
Okay. My over/under game, I'm going Kansas City Chiefs and Lions under at 54.5 points. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to score a lot of points. I don't think the Lions will.
Yeah.
When you see a point total that high, and let me preface this by, I lose money sports betting, so this is definitely not betting advice.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And just my stupid little head, this is just what I think of. But it was the highest point total, and
for the week,
I just think the Chiefs will score a lot, and yet when it's that high, you have to rely on the other team to score a lot of points, and I don't think they will. So that's what I'm taking. Kansas City Chiefs Lions under 54.5.
That's a 35-19. I mean, 35-20. I mean,
yeah, it sounds worse when you say that.
That's what it would take to hit the over. So I think that's safe. I'm with
and
you.
then I'll go ahead and do my cover. I'm going to Bengals covering the Browns at -2.5.
Yeah, but I got the same thing. We got to have some little local-ish interest here. I think 2.5 is nothing. I think the Bengals are going to have another good season. So
yeah,
take
NFL though, man. It's always like it could be Bengals down 1 and they have a drive with 40 seconds left and they kick a field goal to win by 2.
You're right.
The 2.5 makes it tough.
2.5 does make it tough. I mean, Vegas. I heard what Vegas doesn't have marble floors and mahogany walls because they lose. So the chances of us actually coming out ahead of this series, like ahead of Vegas, ahead of each other. I think we'll have some nice little bragging rights there. Ryan, you got any comments? Ryan Brown?
I wasn't prepared for the segment, but I would take Jay's over/under over Ryan's.
Okay.
I think you're right. The Jets are going to score points. I think that's going to be a game that scores points.
You got Josh Allen on the other side too.
Yeah, I could see that one going over for sure.
I mean, 46 is, you see them, but I mean, 54 is a lot, man. And the Lions, for all intents, they don't have anything, do they?
Hawkinson.
Yeah. But
do you all both have sons around the same age? Will you all sit down and watch NFL Sundays with them now?
It's tough. I don't know. I don't know about you. I would guess it's fairly similar. My kids are really active, and like watching anything for a long period of time is tough. I'll get a quarter here and there. He'll watch the Ravens. He's a big, my son's a big Lamar Jackson fan, and he'll go to a game and he's into U of L. But like getting him to watch 6 hours of NFL football on a Sunday is not happening.
Now, it's a lot of throwing football in the house, which that rule is allowed during football season. Our living room is vaulted ceiling, so we can actually run some routes and do some stuff. But it's a similar situation. He wants to watch whenever there's a big play that happens, but unless he's when we're at the game, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom. You don't do you don't get out of the seat. Because he doesn't miss a single thing, even at halftime. But at home on TV, unless it's late, when it's late at night, like he'll lay on the couch with me and we'll watch. But during the day, like he needs a football in his hands.
Yeah, cool. we build a pillow fort, and I throw diving routes into the pillows.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. I told Ryan I always enjoy seeing his Instagram stories with JJ, and
yeah, they're wild, man.
Yeah, they are, but it seems fun. Okay. Let's Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup's right around the corner. The picks have been made. Hometown boy Justin Thomas made some noise. People were mad about him being picked, but you can't leave a killer at home.
No shot.
He's plays too well in those, and when you really look at the FedEx Cup playoffs, he didn't have a great year, but he was just he was one shot for making it in, and who knows what could have happened. I think it's a great pick.
Oh, for sure. I mean, former, world number one. I mean, he's a killer. Mentally, he's there. Like, he may not be playing his best golf of his career right now, but again, like you said, you can't leave a killer at home. I mean, it's like the arguments that, Tiger should have been left off the team, in years past when he was clearly not in top form. Like, guys like that, even more than on the course with the score, they bring more to a team. Yeah. So I just think you got to do it.
Where our Ryder Cup team has made mistakes in the past is just trying to pick the best players by like points wise or money wise, and what they're getting smart in doing now, which is what the Europeans always did, is picking the team that had the best camaraderie, because it really does matter.
It matters
in team golf.
It matters for sure. So speaking of the Ryder Cup, did you have a chance to go very much when it was here in Valhalla?
I did not go at all.
Did not go at all. Did you?
I wasn't really playing golf then.
Okay. I got the opportunity to go. I was pretty jacked, man. Like
when was that?
2012, maybe.
2013 was the PGA Championship, so I don't know how many years it was before.
I would have to look that up, but Tiger played. We had local interest. Was the kid from Camelsville that hits at a mile. Boo Weekley was on the team. Like some of those guys. It was JB Holmes. He driving daggone there driving par fours. I mean, like
2008.
Okay.
I was busy defending your freedom.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Hold on. Watch this. Thank you for your service, Ryan.
I was thinking, I was like, I never heard of the Ryder Cup being in Valhalla. What's he talking about?
I've seen Ryan make posts before that it says with no other comment, "You're welcome for my service." Like
that's my Veterans Day post.
It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's the Xerxes where he's standing there.
You're welcome for my service. Anyway, Xerxes from the 300, obviously. Okay, so no, Ryder Cup is electric. I was so excited to be able to. We had Sunday tickets here. Had a practice round and then Sunday tickets, and it was electric, man. It was nice.
Cool. Why don't we wrap up with Hannah over here, who edits these videos for us. She shoots weddings and stuff. She had a big one this past Saturday.
Burn Bright Productions.
Burn Bright Productions. blushing over there a little. No, seriously, she edits all these videos. They're good. I think they get better and better.
Yeah, for sure. And like her wedding work is amazing. So if you're in the market for a videographer for your wedding, you should check out Burn Bright Productions. You can check her out on all the socials. We'll see clips. You can also check everything that she's done on our social, because for the last year, it's pretty much been all of her work there. So claim no talent whatsoever in that ball game. I just talk.
You need to be you need to be careful with that.
What's that?
Referring your people out. You know what happens? They get too busy. You know, this happens with plumbers. It happens with the plumbers. It happens with electricians. It's like you start referring them out, and the next thing you know, like, well, you know, I got a lot going on. And it's like,
I can tell you,
or their prices go up.
Happy to plug Burn Bright. So Hannah does great work for us. Ryan, that was a great idea. I'm so glad that you thought of it, and I feel ashamed that I didn't already.
Plug God.
That's all the time we have for today's episode. We genuinely appreciate you tuning in each week, here on Talk Radio 1080. Once again, for Ryan Harris and Ryan Brown sitting in with us today, I'm your host, Jay Pitts. We'll check you next week.
Peace.